Goddess's Journey. Like, comment below. Subscribe. Thank you. Hey YouTube, it's Goddess's Journey, and I'm doing Married at First Sight season 16 episode 10, and we are doing Aries and Jasmine. So Aries, this episode has COVID-19, so he has a quarantine from Jasmine. Well, quarantine, and Jasmine, is still staying there with him, and she's gonna do the most that she can, but she's working and she's busy while he's sick, so she makes him some soup, and he feels kind of good because she's taking care of him and things like that. So it was kind of good to see. Like usual, Jasmine is giving like she always does, and once he feels better, he actually goes and they go wash Duchess, her dog, and he's doing that as a gesture to show that he cares and thanking her for taking care of him and helping him feel better when he was sick and he wasn't feeling well. So with them, it's just they're continuing on to get to know each other. Dr. Pepper gave them like an assignment to get to know each other more, and they asked personal questions, like to get more in-depth information out of them, like what would it take for her to fall in love with him and things like that. So he was asking her that, and she was like, just more of emotional connection with you, a little bit more of that. And she was kind of laughing at him about, what about you? Oh yeah, we can't. You haven't fell in love. But then he admitted that he had almost fell in love at one point. But when he seen like what you go through, the heartache and the pain that you go through, he didn't never want to feel that feeling. So he closed himself basically off from that feeling. So basically he's closed off from emotional connection, basically. That's basically what he admitted to her, basically. So for me, it's just like, if you're emotionally closed off, right, and you have an emotional disconnection now, that you don't want to connect because you don't want to feel pain, you don't want to have feelings, then that's a problem, because Jasmine wants to have the emotional connection. That's what she needs to fall in love with you. She's already told you that. With you, he's saying it takes time. It takes time. That's what he keeps saying. So for me, it's like, I don't think that he's going to get there at all, because he doesn't want an emotional connection. So they're not going to work, in my opinion. Even though he's open up and he's being honest, it's good that he's being honest. But I don't think that there's going to be an emotional connection, because he doesn't want to feel that feeling of rejection or hurt or pain. And like he said, men's egos are real fragile. So he doesn't want to get hurt, and he doesn't want to take that risk to be hurt. So he's not going to really put the effort into making emotional connection at all, for me. And then they play more games later on where they play Never Have I Ever. And he was asking her sexual questions, and then it's like, then he was being kind of, to me, rude, because she responded her real responses, and he was kind of like making fun of her and stuff, like, oh, have you ever kissed a girl? She's like, no. He said, well, you haven't lived no life. Have you? And then she asked him, have you had like a threesome? He said, nah, an orgy. And she was just like shocked. An orgy? What the hell? What? And she was like shocked. And I'm like, how are you shocked? He already told you he was out here in these streets. So he was already out here. Like, he already told you that he had a eventful life, girl. So that's part of it. And then he was asking her, have you ever cheated? And she was like, no. He said, oh, you had a boring life, because she doesn't want to cheat on people, because she's an upstanding person. She doesn't cheat. She hasn't kissed a woman before, and because she doesn't want to have a one-night stand, that makes her a boring person. No, that makes her a person that is a good person, because that means she's a person of character. She's selective about what she does. She has a good character, and she's a person that she wants to make real connections. She doesn't want to just sleep with anybody. And just, there's nothing wrong with that if that's the experience you want to have, but don't knock somebody else because they don't want to be like you. She's a lady, first of all. Number two, she was in pageants, so she's been busy most of her life doing stuff that's real eventful, and she's been busy, so she don't have time for that, to be doing that. And there's nothing wrong with her not wanting to do that. My whole thing with him is like, what do you want her? You want her to be out here in these streets? She's not like that. That's just not her. She's being herself, and that's what I respect about Jasmine. She says how she feels, and she's being herself. for the majority of it. I think she's holding back who she really is somewhat still because of just how he is. And for me, this episode, when he asked her also, like, could she, right now, does she see she could fall in love? She said maybe in the future, but at this point, no, in their relationship. And I could see why. Like, she's, like, kind of getting sick of opening up to you. And it's, like, the same excuse. Well, like, he's opening up to her, in my opinion, but it's like he doesn't want to open up to the emotional thing. Like, he's opened up somewhat like sexual and stuff, and he wants to get to the sexual part and get these juicy answers. But it seems to me like I'm feeling more of a platonic connection with them too. It's like a platonic thing going on. It's like he's trying to nosy into her business for platonic reasons. It's not for like him to really connect to her, and that's what she wants. She wants a real emotional connection. I feel like that's the disconnect, and I feel like now it's like she's not trying to open up no more to you because you don't want to get to what she wants. It's like it seems like he wants everything his way, but she needs something to fall in love and to connect with you. She needs an emotional connection. He doesn't want to give her what she wants, but he wants to talk about sex, which is nothing wrong with talking about sex. But my whole thing is you need to connect more to get more out of what's going on for y'all to build more. It has to be more of an emotional connection, like she's saying. Like, it's like he's just really like, he's not going beyond a certain point. He's just surface. He's not trying to be deeper. That's what it seems like for him. And for me, it's like, I really just don't like his attitude. It's just like the way he talks to her sometimes. It's like he doesn't have a care in the world. Like, he doesn't care how he says things to her. And then he wonders why there's no emotional connection. It's not going to be an emotional connection because the way you say things to her is not even someone that sounds like they're even considering the other person's feelings at all. It's like, it's not even what he's saying that's the problem. It's how he's saying it that's the issue. It's like every time he says things to her, it's like he doesn't say things correct. So if you want somebody to be attracted to you, you want it to grow, then you'll talk better to her. But it's like he talks to her any old way because he don't give a damn and he don't want to connect to her emotionally and he don't want to make it work. So he don't care the way he's speaking to her, and I think it's kind of messed up. And then next episode, they show a little snippet of him, and, the snippets could mean anything, because they be showing snippets and it don't even be the correct context and stuff. So from what they show for the scene, it seems like in the episode, from what I was seeing, seems like he's saying he doesn't feel a connection. And that, to me, is on him. It's not on her. It's on him. And if they're disconnected, that's on him because she keeps trying and making strides. And he keeps dismissing what she wants and dismissing the connections that she's trying to make with him, being kind of not coming for her about everything, talking about the way she is, and he has an issue with it. It's just if you want a smut or a whore, you should not come on the show. If you want a smut or you want a girl that's out there, then you shouldn't have came on the show because they were trying to give you somebody that is of character. I'm just being 100 how I'm just saying it matter of fact. That's the type of girl it seems like he wants. He doesn't seem like he wants a woman that's poised. He doesn't want a woman that is of character. He wants a woman that is out there in these streets doing gosh knows what, and she's spreading herself wide and she just extra and she got a big butt and he want a roundabout girl or something, or he want a girl that's more of a hood chick or something, in my opinion, because there's nothing wrong with this girl and he's just making every excuse and he don't want an emotional attachment, so he shouldn't have came on the show. This show, Married at First Sight, needs to find better people that have went through some therapy and have dealt with their issues. They need to stop getting these people that have all these issues and they don't deal with their issues and they decide to come on the show and deal with their issues during the show. They should have done that before they even came on here. And he really has an emotional attachment problem, and he has this issue with his past as well, with his dad and the loss of his dad. That's the issue as well. So for me, he's the cause of this. I'm feeling detached, the blah, 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 and who gives a damn? For me, she needs to just throw in a towel at this point because he's not really putting a real effort, and it's just one-sided. She's taking care of you when you're sick. She's trying to get you to open up, keep asking you to open up and keep asking you to open up, and you won't do it. So for me, it's like, what is the point? There's no effort on his part. It's like, he keeps saying he's not physically attractive, so what more do he want from her? What more do he want her to do? There's nothing she can do to make you want her more if you're not going to put the real effort in. So for me, Aries and Jasmine's situation is not finna work. He's not putting a real effort in my opinion. And it's just getting old, the same old conversation that he's bringing up every freaking week. It's the same bullshit excuse. And it all is on him, really. It's him that's having the problem, not her. Like, she has no issues with being attracted to him. She wants to get deeper and go past surface level, and he doesn't want to go past surface level. He want to talk about sexual stuff. And for me, he doesn't realize for some women, majority of women, we need to connect to you mentally and emotionally before we can give ourselves to you fully. And you're in a marriage and you have to connect that way to stay in a marriage. This is not you being single and you out here just having fun with everybody named Mother. You're married to her now, so you have to come at her different. This is not the same old females that you're used to. So he needs to grow up and act like an adult and stop acting like he is a teenager to a young adult or something. He needs to grow up because it's starting to get kind of old. Like, you're 40, my man. Like, all these things that you're saying, he really needs to get into therapy, to be quite frank, because he should have never came on the show. He needs to get into therapy because it's getting kind of old. The same old excuses. Like, oh yeah, I can't do it. I feel detached to you because I was hurt in the past. Because that's what he basically was saying in this episode. He was almost falling in love with this girl, and because he didn't want to feel the pain of being hurt, which everybody goes through the pain of heartbreak. If you've fallen in love, or you've been in love and you felt that feeling in your heart, and you've been in love with someone and they broke your heart and you've been crying and you felt that pain, you have to feel that pain to have experience. And the fact that he stopped himself from having the full experience of being hurt because he didn't want to feel the feeling, so he just stopped himself ever again from feeling that feeling, and he won't let nobody get close to him. And that's the same thing he's doing to her. So how are you saying you want to be married but you don't want to go through any emotions and you don't want to feel nothing for the person you're married at all? You just want to be surface and just have sex and talk about sex, and that's it. That's not how females work. So my whole thing is, he may have slept with a lot of people, but he really don't have no experience in life like that. He only has experience doing the surface level shit, like sleeping around with people and having his fun and doing bachelor stuff. But he don't got no real experience in life. And for me, they shouldn't have put him on here because he's not really interested or ready to be in love. He's not ready to have a real serious marriage. He just thinks that that's what he wants, but he really don't want it because he don't even give. You don't even give 100%. He's only giving like a small percentage of himself. Jasmine's giving 100% of herself majority these last couple of weeks, and he's giving just minimum piss poor stuff. Participate, but I'm not going to give you no emotional things. I don't want to feel nothing. Well, that's life. So my whole thing is, you going through life like that, you not living. You just, there's something wrong with him. He should have got therapy and got himself healed first before he came on here, because he got too many things going on. And he's like messing up the experience. So for me, your Aries is something else. He does too much. I cannot with him. I'm sorry. I cannot with this man. And sorry, that's my daughter or whatever. She's up and about, but I got this stuff on my head, so I want to give you the review. But that's my daughter in the background. I'm a mommy, got a baby. So she's just playing and stuff. So for me, with Aries, I cannot with him. She's going to have to literally leave him alone because he's not emotionally available. And he's mentally not there with her either. He just wants a physical thing, and that's all he's caring about getting to. He's not really caring about getting to no deep level with her. So he's a waste of time. They should never put him on his show. And Marriage at First Sight need to get better with that, because that's really sad and ridiculous. So that's my review of Aries and Jasmine this episode. I'm Goddess Journey. And I'll talk to you in the next review.